So here I am discussing the BlazBlue Alternative Dark War trailer because I have nothing better to do, and plus I want to try to make a much better video than my first one when I just immediately woke up and immediately start the video. I really want to... This is a makeup video for that. So before I start, I just gotta say some things. Now, I know some people are salty over BlazBlue Alternative Dark War being a mobile game and not a brand new fighting game made by ARCSYS, saying things like, well, I guess I'll go back to CF. Okay, so first of all, BlazBlue Alternative Dark War has been announced since 2017, so, people who, didn't know it was a mobile game and are into BlazBlue kind of had like 3 years for it to be in your conscience. So, yeah, and yes, it was announced to be a mobile game, so I don't want to see people acting like they didn't know it was. Honestly, like, that was the first thing they announced right when the game was announced back in 3 years ago. Second, it's 2021, and I don't think you really honestly expected a new BlazBlue fighting game to be this early. I mean, it took 3 damn years for us to even see what this game even looks like, to see what even Alternative Dark War looks like. I don't like mobile games, especially gacha games, but I like BlazBlue, and I'm excited to not go through 2021 with nothing BlazBlue related. So first, going into the trailer, we see this thing, this little title saying BlazBlue RPG Reboot. Now, for those who don't know, BlazBlue was originally envisioned as a JRPG by Mori back in the day. So that's probably why BlazBlue Alternative Dark War is the way that it is now. A JRPG finally. Granted, it's a mobile gacha JRPG, but it still exists. With the way they're saying, quote-unquote, reboot, my guess is BlazBlue Alternative Dark War is a reboot of the series, in a sense it's kind of like a soft reboot to say. It's like it has a new playstyle in the form that, the playstyle is being rebooted. It's not a fighting game no more. And it's a brand new story covering all the characters who weren't around during the Dark War. Because the Dark War was an event that happened from the BlazBlue current timeline 100 years ago of sorts. So, like, there's characters around in Alternative Dark War who weren't during the Dark War, like Ragna, Jin, Noel. They weren't during the Dark War. So, now seeing that they're here now and all these other wacky characters are here, it's a good way to try to drag them all into the Dark War, which I like. So, yeah, this is a reboot of sorts. It's its own thing. It's a reboot prequel kind of deal. Further into the trailer, we start seeing images of past events throughout the series here, and then they start introducing the characters, or at least some of them. First, we have Jin Kisaragi and Noel Vermillion together. Then we have Trinity, Glassfield, and Cosmo Caval, who have to kind of be here because they were during the Dark War. Tsubaki Yayoi and Makoto Naniya. Good God, Makoto looks so bad. And then now we have the new original characters, CL Sulfur, and the male and female player avatar characters. Now, I won't lie, I'm not really digging the player avatar characters designs. They seem a little bit too, basic for my taste. For like a series of like a BlazBlue of all things where it has a bunch of wacky character designs, these kind of bleed together into like some kind of bland character designs. I mean, hell, freaking the main 2 protagonists for Fate Grand Order look cooler than this, but... And I get that the Ishana uniforms, I totally understand, but I get that and all, but these character designs don't do it for me. Even the male protagonist even looks way too basic. He looks more basic than the female character, but I shouldn't be the person ragging on character designs. We also get introduced to some more characters, such as Bullet and Hibiki Kohaku, who were hinted to come to BlazBlue Alternative Dark War earlier, as Mori drew them on his Twitter. Now, Bullet has her original design back, so I don't know if the one where she wears actual pants and the new shoes is going to be an alternate costume or what. Now, I won't lie, this Hibiki art looks rough. It reminds me of early Chaos Code art when the actual art wasn't very good and they had to update it for later releases of the game. Yeah, this Hibiki art looking really rough here. Not looking too good. Naoto Kurogane is also confirmed to be joining. Though, once again, Mori himself teased that Naoto was coming back in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War through various ways. One, he drew art for Naoto, sporting this quote-unquote new look with the BlazBlue Alternative Dark War hashtag. And 2, Raquel Alucard was shown on the original BlazBlue Alternative Dark War artwork for the logo. Oh yeah, Rachel Alucard's in this game. So here's the new character in the form of CL Sulfur executing an attack. It also shows that this game is possibly using sprite work, which means that every character will finally have sprites, which is great, and that includes characters that weren't never, ever had sprites in the main BlazBlue series, like the X-Blaze characters, which is pretty great, except S, obviously, and, the Blood Experience characters, with the exception of Naruto, and technically Raquel, because she did have a sprite. It's attached to Rachel, but she still has sprites, still counts. So that's great. Now, judging by all the attacks that these characters are using, they're using their astral heats, which this possibly must mean that all of the playable characters in this game will get astral heats of sorts. That includes characters that weren't playable before, such as CL Sulfur, and even characters that, you never ever seen of astral heat because they were never playable before. So, it's like most of the X-Blaze characters, or most of the Blood Experience characters, or, just they all have astral heats for the first time, which is pretty sick. We also see close-ups of Noelle and S's astral heats, including Jin, who has a new close-up image of his face in his Arctic Dungeon astral heat, aka the Rengoku Hyoya, which is cool. Like they actually updated his astral heat, which is actually really cool. It looks pretty cool. And now we reach Mai Natsume, and she is also different in this game. She doesn't seem like herself. She seems a lot darker. So apparently, according to the official BlazBlue Alternative Dark Wars site, this is known as Another Dark Mai. That's the name they use. Another Dark Mai. That's the official name. Anyway, according to the official site, Another Dark Mai is a possibility of Mai Natsume that has a quote-unquote calamity factor included in her existence. Fighting has become her sole reason for living, and she is currently acting on behalf of a certain someone. Now, I'm not going to spend the whole video trying to theorize who Another Dark Mai is, but all I can say is that she looks cool as hell, and it's a form I never expected, and it's literally just Kukulin from Kukulin Alter from Fate Grand Order. It's literally Kukulin Alter. I mean, they got the tail and everything, and you look at her little cloak, the cloak she's wearing, and it's just Jean's, what's her name? Jean d'Arc's Alter's flag. So, there you go. There's some Fate, even more Fate references in there, BlazBlue for you. I just threw the flag in because it looks pretty obvious what the hell the cloak is at least looking like. Saya Terumi is also here in this game, though she lacks a character portrait as of this recording. It's nice to see more Blood Experience characters, and I hope we can expect more on the way, such as Kiro Hikagami, or, the younger Kiro Hikagami, Spinner Superior. He counts as well. There's not that many Blood Experience characters that are actually, combat capable, but there are a good amount of them that are, I'm trying to, pick ones that aren't, from the actual Blaze, already in BlazBlue. Raquel does count, so technically she can be playable as well, and we already know she's going to be in the game. There's other side characters that really don't do anything, like Naruto's cousin, Haruka Hayami. She doesn't really do anything, but I could expect to see her here as well. But yeah, I hope to see more Blood Experience characters on the way. So here we have Akane Teruhiko from BlazBlue Remix Heart / BlazBlue Variable Heart, and he is also shown off in this trailer, which means he and Mai are the two confirmed Heart characters thus far. This time, however, he is sporting a different outfit from his Heart counterpart, with the goggles and the green outfit. Now, for those who don't know, the NOL has various uniforms for their members that has different colors, signifying the branch they're assigned to within the organization. They have the color known as Shimmering Blue Flame for the Ars Magi, which is obviously blue, like how characters like the Jin and the Well wear. They have the Triumphant Return of the Kingfisher, which is green and represents the Air Corps. The Corrosive Jet Black for the Intelligence Department, which is obviously black. So characters like Hazuma, who wears a black suit, or Makoto, who wears black, like a little black cloak thing when she's off doing her intelligence business. And finally, the Incorruptible Pure White for the Wings of Justice, so like what Tsubaki wears. So Akane is wearing a green outfit, which is the Triumphant Return of the Kingfisher, and that means he is a member of the Air Corps. And this is supported by the fact that he is now wearing goggles, and the background of his quote-unquote astral heat is a sky. Just a little detail I wanted to point out. I think I saw one person point out, but I think I was just seeing things. But yeah, it's cool. It's like a little detail I didn't even think of. until I looked closely at it. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. It's just like this one little frame, and you automatically know everything about the character now. We are also getting Reaper/Freaks in this trailer, implying that more X-Blaze characters are coming, as we already know that S is on the logo. Breaking away from the trailer for a bit, it is also confirmed that Kuon Glamred Stroheim, I can never say that name right, and Mei Amano Hokasaka are also coming to this game. So we have 4 X-Blaze characters currently confirmed. It's funny, still including S as an X-Blaze character, considering she's so ingrained into BlazBlue now. But yeah, we have at least 4 X-Blaze characters revealed thus far. Mei, Ripper/Freaks, Kuon, and Mei. We end things off in the trailer with a brand new artwork logo, which is much different from the last one. The original artwork logo had Raquel Alucard, Jin Kisaragi, Cosma Caval, Trinity Glassfield, and CL Sulphur on the front, while this new one has Ragnar the Blood Edge, Ez, Noel Vermilion, Naoto Kurogane, and CL Sulphur once again. Holy crap, I just noticed that S had her X-Blaze design. Oh my god. Now, before we keep going, I still gotta go through some of the alternative, quote-unquote alternative characters that Toshimichi Mori drew on his Twitter prior to this trailer. Now, first we have Kagura Mutsuki, who looks like this badass samurai with way too much going on him. I just love the design. He's got a damn skull on his shoulder, he's missing an eye, he has 2 regular swords instead of his large Zweihander. He just looks like an overall villain. I don't know what's wrong with him, but we'll find out eventually. And next we move on to New 13, who, like Kagura, is also a lot different than what she usually looks like. She has taken aspects of Ragnar the Blood Edge, such as his jacket, the collar of his shirt that is around her neck like a choker, his belt, and one of his gloves. New also sports a new eye patch, and her tattoo has seemingly been carved out, which, ouch, that's gotta be painful. She's also sporting a new sword, compared to her, like, bunch of swords in her Murakumo form. Finally, we reach Trinity Glassfield, who is seemingly being possessed by Yuki Terumi. This was a look that I wasn't expecting, but it's cool that the normal, sweet, and nice-looking Trinity turned into this green monster. It's sick as hell. Now, knowing that another Dark Mai has become the way she has was due to some quote-unquote calamity factor, I can only assume that the reason that Kagura, New, and Trinity look like the way they do in Alternative Dark War is a result of this calamity factor deal. That these are possibilities of characters that we know who have been screwed up in some way. It's even supported by the fact that the name of the game is BlazBlue Alternative. I'm just spitballing here. I'm honestly just spitballing, but I wonder if this calamity factor deal is the reason why Kagura looks the way he does, why New looks the way she does, and why Trinity looks the way she does. I really want to know what the hell this calamity factor is. It could be just an excuse to have like various characters look different, which I honestly don't care, but I feel like that's going to be part of the plot of Alternative Dark War. At least that's my hopes. Now, another thing I noticed while looking through the character portraits on the official website is that there's this Takamagahara logo that exists on all of them. Again, this video isn't about me theory crafting, so I'm not going to try to aim for some dumb theory or some big-brained reach. I'm just an observer wondering why the Takamagahara logo is on every character portrait, because it's starting to bother me, and I really do not want to spend this video theory crafting. There was also some text that was flying so fast across the damn screen, I couldn't really screenshot it per se and tell people what it was, and I can't read Japanese too well, but I was able to steal somebody's information off Twitter and to try to see what some of this kanji actually means, because I am not a Japanese. I know some kanji, but not enough to actually, give you a good saying on what it is. So some of the kanji that flew back past the screen really fast near the end of the video was Azure Grimoire Transcription, Uncertain Phenomenon, Babble, Beast of Calamity, Pending Factors, Foreign Body, Sleipnir, and Intervener. Now, honestly, I have no idea what any of these could be. Beast of Calamity could be the Black Beast, or hell, it could be Ragnar for all we know. Sleipnir already knows one of the forces within the Mitsurugi Agency, and since CL is part of Sleipnir, part of the Mitsurugi Agency, I kind of already knew that. Intervener could be, like, like a way of saying, like, you know, how Rachel's called a bystander or an onlooker? I guess that could be it, you know, intervening events or something like that. Foreign body, I got nothing. Azure Grimoire transcription, I can only say it's like Ragna, or, you know, Hosma, or, you know, whatever. Uncertain phenomenon could be like a possibility that didn't, you know, come out right, or something like that. Again, I don't want to theory craft this whole time, and I don't know what Babel is, like the Tower of Babel. Pending factors, I have no idea. Foreign body, and et cetera, but I only know what I can say. Like, I don't read kanji, and I only know one person on Twitter is ever able to translate it all, so, you know, good for that. And again, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just giving you all what I know. Another thing is that ARCSYS is actually putting CL's avatar back in the BBTAG. Now, originally when BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle 2.0 was launched, CL's character avatar was leaked and it was swiftly patched out. Though I know some PC players still managed to use it, but I heard there was some problems that if you try to use it, that it'll crash. So I guess they kind of patched it out to not spoil things too early about BlazBlue Alternative Dark War. But regardless, they put CL back in the Cross-Tag. So in some twisted, messed up way, this is our BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle update. And I want to cry. There was also this small prologue that was written for Alternative Dark War a while back that I'm honestly not going to talk much about, since it really doesn't give me anything new to work with, unless you're like 9 stepping on people. But honestly, that doesn't really sound too bad. Now, Mori had an interview back in 2018 about various things, Alternative Dark War, Cross-Tag, etc., but I'm mostly be covering what he said about Alternative Dark War. Mori said, "Within the gradually expanding world of the BlazBlue series, there are many stories I wanted to tell, but console games weren't suited for including many short stories. So what we planned for this new challenge was Dark War. It is an adventure game like X-Blaze with branching choices, but what I wanted to do in particular was to have a singular storyline visible throughout, while including many digressing sub-stories. To make it an adventure game, I thought, which one is the main story? And considered making it somewhat fluffy, but since this type of expression is suited to smartphone RPGs, I made a decision. Rather than a proper sequel, it is more of a new story about BlazBlue with CL as the main character. That sort of nuance. By the way, I think several sharp people have already made a realization about CL's mantle. For the meaning behind that, please look forward to playing the game. Characters who, up until now, were not given the spotlight shall be gradually featured, I think. First is Hazama. Terumi had a larger role in BlazBlue Central Fiction, but I think not much of Hazama was seen. He played a supporting role, and I think he was a meaningful character, but from the moment he began to walk his own path, for better or for worse, he began to meddle in all sorts of affairs. Having created good characters, including Kazuma and Terumi, I want to create a proper place for them to stand in the story. Then there's Platinum, whose relationship with the girl with the wearing the large bell that appeared in Variable Heart is still untold in some places, and is one thing I like to talk about. There is Bullet and Hibiki as well, and characters I personally like and want to give the spotlight to, and Mei Fang and Mai's father, Hoichiro Hazuki, and so on, and characters that weren't able to appear in the main works that I would like to see." So yeah, that's what pretty much Mori really wanted to say. There was more that he wanted to say about characters he didn't get much to talk about, but I kind of don't know if the next part he's talking about is regards to Alternative Dark War. Mori did mention that he wanted to mention whatever happened to Tsubaki after the events of Central Fiction, because she's kind of behind the tree, you know, holding the Okami behind Rachel. He wanted to explain how Celica was acting during her time as a sister. There's a bunch of things he wanted to talk about. He wanted to talk about Lenoir. You know, I don't know if these are tied to Dark War, but Mori did say there were things he didn't get a chance to cover. So that was the interview about Alternative Dark War back then. So yeah, you know, this is games wanted to be more about characters who he didn't get a chance to give the spotlight to in the main series, which I find pretty okay. Mori mentioned a little bit about the actual gameplay of Alternative Dark War, but again, this was a 2018 interview, so I don't know if, you know, his thoughts changed since then. But he did say, "Please look forward to the battle system. Up until now, the BlazBlue series chased after the fun and combos left in pursuing the execution of highly unique combos. For those who love winning fighting games with the quote-unquote 'I want to win with this' technique, forms an aesthetic shared among many, isn't it? In Dark War as well, It's not just wanting to win against the opponent, but winning in a way that can be admired. That sort of system. Also, an auto battle option will definitely be included. The feeling of labor that accompanies increasing one's level is an element that will be included no matter what, but whether or not this part is truly enjoyable to focus on, I think it's better to be able to enjoy the other parts as well. As for BlazBlue's ending, what and how far it would go and the goal of the series as a whole, that sort of destination hasn't been settled on yet. The current end goal is to follow the story with CL as the main character properly to its end. For that purpose, Dark War cannot afford to fail, but in any case, we're working hard. Again, Mori didn't really go into too much depth about what the actual hell Dark War even plays like, but he did say an all battle option will be implemented, so, and leveling up, and we already know it's an RPG, so yeah, it's one of those. I hope it's not one of those kind of mobile games where the game just essentially plays itself while you just put your phone and just not do anything. I hope it's not one of those kind of games because, I mean, you know, keep my brain engaged or something, but I'm not going to get into that right now. The point is, that's what Mori said. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to discuss. Now, my hopes are honestly, for this game is just a good localization so I can actually understand this damn game in my home language, and for it to hopefully make it out of Japan. I pray. I hope that this actually, I just pray it makes it out of Japan. I just pray that it gets a localization, please. I also hope that this game does well and make bank so it gets more people into the BlazBlue franchise. I pray to God they're going to use the money to actually fund it towards more of their fighting game projects. I would die if BlazBlue Alternative Dark War became stuffed in gacha hell, or if just the BlazBlue series would just become a mobile series and that's that. I would not like that. And I don't think BlazBlue would move entirely away from the fighting game scene, and I don't see that happening. But if it does, hey, we can at least blame Mori and ARCSYS and their crazy attempt at creating a mobile game based off BlazBlue. Again, I don't think the BlazBlue series would just stop making fighting games. That's a bit ridiculous. Plus, BlazBlue has just been in other media. It's been light novels, been manga, and anime, other mobile games, various silly spin-offs for handheld games. Being a mobile gacha is just one more avenue for BlazBlue to be on. What I don't understand is how come Guilty Gear doesn't have a mobile game of its own yet, or doesn't have an anime of its own yet. BlazBlue's getting all this shit. Guilty Gear still is kind of stuck in, video game hell. Granted, it was a pachinko game, but I count pachinko as a video game, so, it's a game. Not a video game, but it's a game, so. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the whole Alternative Dark War video. That's really what I wanted to talk about and discuss. It was relatively short. It was only a 52-second video for the trailer, but there's a bunch of stuff I really wanted to point out, and I wanted to definitely make sure that I got my information right this time, so I wouldn't have to be making a quick video. This is why I don't like making videos in the moment, is because that I get information wrong, and I don't just take enough time to, research stuff before I just watch. I mean, my original Alternative Dark War video, the moment I woke up, I made that video, and that's why I got some stuff off about it. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Peace out, everyone. I hope I at least informed you about some things, at least talked about it, because I'm ready for Alternative Dark War. It's coming out in February, so see you all there. I hope they don't have to go through a bunch of hoops trying to get the game, but yeah, peace out, everyone. Have a great day, and see you for the launch of Alternative Dark War, and hopefully a localization. Please, ARCSYS, give this game some English.